Hi, cuties.
What the hell is this?
Sup? So, not long ago I made a video on why you shouldn't taint your Netflix history with cuties and how much of whack jobs social justice warriors are when it comes to supporting the exploitation of fetuses even though they want to save the children. They want to save them, alright. Save them for freaky shit.
Back in my pants.
Speaking of whack job SJWs, let's introduce you to Mr. Girl. First off, what the fuck kind of name is Mr. Girl? That either sounds like a name to offend trans people, or it's just a name he thought sounded cool, which in reality it's fucking lame and makes him sound like a sissy. Spoiler alert.
He's a sissy.
He's a YouTuber with over 2.5k subs, currently 2.7 last I checked, and recently his popularity blew up over his controversial and disturbing take on the movie Cuties. If you thought that shit was the only controversial thing he has said and done, oh boy, you are in for one hell of a treat. Let's start off with his arrest in 2007. Long story short, he sympathized with the Virginia Tech shooter, and his entire class was freaked the fuck out about it. I mean, I would have thought he was mentally unstable too. Well, I already think that as it is. Next, we're going to react to his other videos. Let's just to see what kind of a person this dude really is. Let's check them out. The first one we're going to check out is called Hand Washing Instructions. Let's play this shit. What the fuck? Did he really need to moan? Was hand washing too good for you, you filthy slut? Now he's spasming with his hand while moaning. Can anyone call an exorcist on this man? Preferably that one dude who dealt with the Demonsburg lead. What was his name again? What was it? Oh yeah, Ed Citronelli. Now simulated fisting with his hands. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Fisting ain't cool, dude. I'm definitely not having his how to basic wannabe ass teach my future kids how to wash their hands. Next one is called I masturbated in front of a girl and her mom. What the actual fuck? I don't know if I want to watch this one considering the title, but here we go.
Okay. So I have a friend who takes pictures of me sometimes. She's a photographer. She invited me to a CFNM party.
CFNM parties exist in 2020? Oh, this was a few years ago. Still has some balls to go there in their nude. Sadly, they must be pretty small considering he's talking highly about cuties.
And I would say there's probably like 20 people there, maybe 25. It's just in a woman's house.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 28 at the time, and there's this girl who's 21.
Okay, the girl was 21. I was worried for a second. Still, pretty fucking weird. Like, the only person I would ever expose myself to is my girlfriend whenever I'm in a relationship. Call me old-fashioned as much as you want. It's just weird to me.
so she was like, what do you like? So like, what are you into? I was like, I like masturbating in front of women. And she was like, I'd watch you jerk off. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. And she was like, but you have, she was like, but you have to ask my mom first.
Her real mom?
Yes. I was like, I have to ask your mom first. And she was like, well, it's her house.
That was her house?
Yes. I was like, you live here? And she was like, yes. And I was like, this is your mom's party? And she was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, she's right over there. And I was like, you want me to walk over and ask your mom if I can masturbate in front of you in her house? She was like, oh, she'll probably say yes. And I was like,
Would you say yes?
I don't think I would be at a sex party with my child. I would drop my child off at a sex party and pick them up and make sure they were safe.
You gotta have boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me that could even happen until that moment, though. So
He had to ask the girl's mom. What? Why is this a thing? If he has said one thing that's made the most sense so far, it's wondering why you're asking a chick's mom for permission to get freaky with her daughter. But then again, it's her home and party. God, they're just fucking weird.
I was really, my mind was like
Yeah.
aflame. But
Seems like a trap.
yeah. But the idea of I mean, like, I have to masturbate in front of women, so like I had to ask her. So I go over to her mom, who is talking to my friend, and like they do the typical like female dominant like, can we help you? And I was just like completely naked, like standing there, and I was like, I was wondering. I was like, some people wanted to watch me masturbate. I was wondering if that's okay. And then she just leans over and looks at her daughter behind me, and then like looks back at me, and she's like, that's fine.
And she said yes. What the fuck? Nope. I'm done. I'm done with this video. Yep. Next one. Let's check out the next one.
A few minutes later.
Next up is a message to my future daughter. Oh, that sounds nice. About sex. Oh. Never mind.
Hey, I've been thinking about making a video like this for a while. I know you don't exist yet, and you may never exist, but sometimes I talk to you, or think about what I'll say to you and your hypothetical brother. This may not be true by the time you're born, but right now, well, it's definitely still going to be true. People are really horrified by the idea of their daughters having sex.
I would be afraid too. I wouldn't want my future daughter getting involved with somebody she'll regret being with later. Not that I'm gonna have any kids, but still.
Or having a sexuality or being sexual. There's no quicker way to make someone completely flip out than to talk about their daughter having sex. And you will see this. But you won't see it with me. I think it's really fucked up. The idea that I would tell you that sex is bad, or that you're bad for wanting to have it, or for thinking about it.
It's not that parents will be afraid or shun their kids for having sex. It's that there's people who go out and get involved with a girl only for sex. The possibility of someone hurting your child in an inappropriate manner. It's natural to defend your children from dangers of the outside world, but I also know that you can't hold their hand forever, and you can't grow as a person unless if you let them discover some things on their own and be there whenever your kid needs them, like a real parent should.
When sex made you. The idea that when I had sex to make you, that I was committing some selfless act and doing you some favor, bringing you into this world. There's no time when people are more selfish than when they're having sex.
Whoa. Sorry, but how you described it there made it sound a little selfish. Babies are usually made with love in mind and wanting a family with the person you love. Sadly, that isn't always the case, but it's an ideology most people go with. They don't make it sound as such.
I created you for me.
So it was for selfish intent. Let's continue.
The idea that then I would tell you that sex is some terrible thing you should feel bad about or not think about or not do or only do with certain people in certain circumstances that I approve of is horrible.
It's not horrible to tell your kids to have sex with the person you love. That's how it should be in most cases.
It's not just that I'm okay with you having sex. You are sex. It's life. Life is sex. Sex is life. I think we teach girls to be terrified of sex. People are talking a lot about rape, non-consensual sex now, and there's going to be some strong backlash where we have some increased focus on how to say no, teaching little girls how to say no. I think that is backwards, and what I would like to teach you is how to say yes.
It's common sense to say no. Rape is wrong. Consent is key. Always.
Talked about this with people before, and they say, oh, well, when you have a girl, you'll see it's different when it's your daughter. I think that you and I both know by now, by the time you're watching this, that's not the case. It's a little different with us. And if I do shame you, or when I inevitably do shame you, because I have my own problems and issues with sex, you'll have this video that you can play for me and tell me to shut the fuck up.
More like this video shouldn't exist, and you would be in the right to be protective of your daughter, you fucking donkey. The last one I'll have to actually taint my search history with because it got age restricted, and it's called Why It's Hard for Women to Say No. What the actual fuck? I know I keep saying it a lot, but this dude keeps disappointing me with every opportunity he gets.
Hi, horses. Let me tell you something about women. Wait. Come back. This one is for the feminists, for real. Can you just listen to me for a fucking minute? I want to do some mediation. A lot of men's rights advocates, maybe conservative types, are angry about the Me Too movement.
This chick, Marla Singer, did not have testicular cancer.
They don't like these stories where sometimes a woman has sex and she didn't say no or try to stop it at the time, and then later she says she was raped. They think of these women as predators, lying to get back at men because they hate them, because they're selfish cunts who in high school wouldn't date an actual nice guy, and then they got old and fat and desperate and have nothing better to do than ruin people's lives and try to get famous.
Okay, so yeah, I agree that the Me Too movement is a sham, but because it became a sham when some women tried to make false claims to intentionally ruin the careers of men they didn't like. There's actually women who are assaulted and had traumatic experiences with men. Don't bunch them in with the cunts who made false claims like Zoe Quinn and Amber Heard.
Imagine you're a girl. Now, you've been born into a world with modern values, but the people raising you were not. So it's easy to say women have all the same rights and privileges as men today, but this little girl's mother, your mother, might have been born in the 50s or the 60s, like mine. My grandmothers were born in the 1920s.
Hi there.
So there's the foundation for this little girl's upbringing. Your mom's some kind of half-breed when it comes to modern egalitarian values. That kind of hesitant, desperate, and basically insecure sentiment of like, well, I guess women really are people. Look at me, I'm wearing a suit. I guess we're really doing this, right, guys? Girl power. And let's say your father isn't trailing behind. Let's say he's keeping up. So he's like this kind of vaguely alcoholic, feminist, pussy kind of guy, right? Like he's doing his best. and intellectually, his values are pretty closely aligned with our societal values. Now, just laying out that foundation, I think I've already proven my point. Because if you think about it for more than 5 seconds, it's pretty obvious why Grandma, who bursts into tears if you say the word vagina, and Mom and Dad, who can't actually have a conversation about sex, but who kind of smirk when they think about all the drug-addled sex they had back in the day,
Would you like a papa?
are not able to raise a daughter with reliable sexual boundaries. But I'm gonna keep explaining it anyway.
But I'm gonna torture you anyway.
Yep, you're definitely torturing me, Mr. Girl. Please stop. Also, yes, societal values have changed over time. But don't you think women have a hard time saying no because they're either intoxicated or in a scary position where they can't say no? Ever thought of that? No? Well, you need to learn a thing or two.
So you're a little girl, and you get the sex talk, meaning you learn about the dangers of sex, and you learn about saying no, but not so much about saying yes. In fact, whenever sex is brought up, your parents get shifty and uncomfortable, especially Dad. You see, Dad desperately doesn't want you to have sex. Ever. He hates the thought of it. He hates talking about it. He hates your prom date. In fact, and think about this, your father is only marginally more upset by the thought of you being raped than he is by you having consensual sex.
No fucking shit. A father doesn't want their girl getting assaulted by a guy. Is it really bad to be a protective parent? I'm against overprotective parents, but something like that is a natural defense. It's natural to protect your children from dangers, like I've explained earlier.
Hey, this is George.
In fact, thinking about you getting fucked makes your father feel like he's getting raped.
Terrible analogy. Move on, sicko.
Say that, right? I just want to have fun. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, that means someone else is going to decide what happens, and what's going to happen is going to be you getting railed. But if a woman says, I just want to get railed, then you can imagine the quality of guy who responds to that proposal will be lower.
Exactly there. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. There's women who just want sex. Guys aren't the only ones who have those kinds of people representing them. That's why one-night stands and friends with benefits exist. If something happens to them, then it happens, basically. Hence what I said about stupid games, because just wanting sex can be a bad thing at times.
You didn't say no, but not because you want sex, and not even because you don't want to offend this one guy. And it's not because you're confused, or you're drunk, or whatever the fucking reasons people give. It's because if you start saying no now, it'll destroy all your relationships. Your friends, your family, your teachers, your boss, your neighbors. Even a little chit-chat with a stranger will be completely different. You're already part of this big social machine in your life, and you're playing a very specific part. If you start refusing and protesting and fighting and advocating for yourself, the machine will collapse, and you'll be alone.
Okay, the ending of this video is fucking gross. Well, sadly I lied. Apparently I got one more on the list before I talk about this dude's take on cuties. It's called The Time I Almost Got Raped. What the fuck is he doing to that chicken?
This happened in 2015, 2 months after my ex-wife left me.
Gee, I wonder why she fucking left you.
I like modeling nude.
Okay, a nude model, nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Been a figure model since I was 25. I'm 34 now. At the time of the story, I was 30. I've been masturbating in front of my friends since I was 10.
You're a whore. You're a whore, just admit it. You're a whore, you whore yourself out online, you whore yourself out in front of your family and your friends. You're a whore, plain and simple. Just admit that you're a whore and a slut and a harlot.
And I have kept that up since, and not friends. I just like people watching me masturbate. I've always been an exhibitionist, specifically women. I like women looking at my naked body. And it's not always easy to find women who want to, or who will admit that they want to look at a naked man, and then actually meet them and do that.
Well, what the fuck did you expect? Most normal women want to only see themselves or a man they love naked.
But I've found maybe more than my share. So I was on Model Mayhem, which is like Facebook for models, and I was searching for photographers and filtering for female photographers, as one does, and looking for female photographers who take pictures of men, which is rare. But I found a handful. I messaged them, and one of them wrote me back and said she wanted to shoot. And as we chatted, kind of like what our interests are and what kind of shoot we wanted to do, she told me she was really into serial killers.
Okay, listen. I'm one for ignoring the rule, don't stick your dick in crazy, but that's a crazy I don't want to be near. I don't want to associate myself with a Ted Bundy lover. No thanks.
And the way she talked about it was odd to me. I know I like Silence of the Lambs and put all this weird shit on my channel, but that's not real. It's always weird to me when people like real serial killers. I asked my friend who's a therapist if she thought that was concerning, and she basically was just like, no. Like, I'm paranoid, kind of like I'm like a psychological germaphobe. Like, I think other people are crazy a lot. And she said I shouldn't worry about it.
Okay, how did your friend become a certified therapist now? You don't go meet somebody who wants to get fucked by Ted Bundy's decomposing cock, you fucking twit.
We kept chatting back and forth after, and then we went out for pancakes, just to like hang out. And she was like taking cell phone pictures of me drizzling maple syrup on my mouth and eating, and like it was fun and funny, and like sexual, obviously. And then I asked her if she wanted to watch me masturbate.
To be honest, I would have said no if some dude I just met asked me to watch him yank his jerky. In general, I don't want to see a dude yank their jerky. Hanks. Yank in my pants!
A separate time, and she said something about me teasing her. And a lot of women say things like that, like for some reason it's incomprehensible to many women that you just want them to watch you and you're not trying to fuck them, or it makes them angry. Or confused, or they like don't know what their purpose is if you're not trying to fuck them. I really don't get it, because like I've masturbated in front of men. I've never had a man be like, why would I want to watch you masturbate? I don't get this. Watching me.
Allow me to be the first for two reasons. Because I'm straight, and because I don't want to see another man's dick. End of story.
And then it started getting weird. We all have different definitions of weird. Maybe you think it's already weird. This is when it started getting weird for me and feeling like slightly scary. And her demeanor changed. I think this actually was weirder than anything she was doing. It felt like that serial killer loving side of her was coming out, and the shyness obviously was gone.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. This Ted Bundy lover sounds too fucking crazy. Now on to the big one that's making me judge him the most. His take on cuties.
Hi, cuties.
Okay, nope. Fuck no, there is no fucking way that he started his video with, hey cuties. That is already fucking disgusting. I feel uneasy. It's literally been 1 second into his review. Please make it stop.
That's what I just watched. So, if you're not familiar, Cuties is a film that Netflix just bought from director Maimouna Doucouré. She's a
Okay, he actually did research how to pronounce her name. 1 point for that. Sadly, it won't help you when it comes to your overall grade, buddy.
French woman. And she made this film that has sparked some controversy. Maybe not so much the film itself, but a poster that Netflix made to promote it.
It's not just the poster, dude, but the film in general sparked controversy. She made a movie about the negatives of hypersexualizing fetuses while she exploited these fetuses and made them hypersexual on camera. Netflix even buying the rights to stream on their platform shows how disgusting they are.
Was Netflix sexualizing children? Other people have said that the film itself is sexualizing children. That's basically akin to child pornography.
It is akin to child pornography, you retard.
And that it's, the pedophile left normalizing pedophilia as a legitimate sexual orientation. Hollywood, Pizzagate. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you want to go. And then other people.
I've gone down the rabbit hole a bit to do some research, and oh boy, you do not, sir. You don't know, sir. You do not know. Pizzagate is probably a thing, and shit like this is probably a part of it. Wanna know how I know? Let's go talk to Tom Hanks. Oh, wait. He's in Greece. Fuck.
People are more just kind of more, I think, in my opinion, sanely saying it's exploitative. It's exploiting children. Even if you're making a movie that's about the exploitation of children, you could do it in a way that does not exploit children when you made it.
Exactly. Don't exploit the fetuses to make a point about exploiting fetuses.
So that's just a little background. That's why I ended up watching this movie. Now, it's a solid film. It's a good movie.
I don't like where this is going.
Definitely better than most movies.
Wait, did you just say it's better than most movies? Have you seen any actually good movies that aren't Marvel movies and pedo bait?
And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the movie itself. But right off the bat, just first impressions regarding the controversy. This film does try to make you sexually aroused.
What the fuck? No, it does not. If you get aroused for 11-year-olds, I'm sorry, you're a fucking pedophile, dude. Come over here and take a seat.
By 11-year-olds. And I'll say it's not bad at it. It's not a total failure in that regard, at least for me. Your mileage may vary. I want to say that if you are concerned about people treating this as child pornography, there are probably thousands of people masturbating to this film as we speak.
Yeah, and you're one of them, you sick fuck.
As far it's basically, and I'll put some shots, and I'll probably include footage throughout the whole review. But yeah, as far as like sexy music videos go, it's not bad.
Dude, go watch a music video with adult women with big asses, not 11-year-olds. Just why? Please do a backflip off of the top of your apartment, please. Just please do that. If you want to do one good thing for humanity, please do that.
Are we live? Is this live? Oh, trigger warning. Honesty. So is that part of an attempt by the filmmaker to provoke... I'll say this. I don't get the sense that the woman who made this film is... I think she just doesn't pull her punch.
She pulled her punches, alright. She got motherfuckers like you getting hard over this disgusting shit. Getting an erection over normal shit like attractive, legal women or men. I mean, I'm not judging here. And not little kids.
Make her life a lot easier. I think that the film is kind of roping you into the discussion of the sexualization of children by sexualizing children and by making you complicit in that. Because,
dude, It's like making a movie about how video games are bad by giving a pro Call of Duty player an AR-15 and then proceeding to kill a bunch of fetuses in real life. It's fucking stupid.
So let's put the morality of that aside and just take her art at face value. It's pretty interesting to be forced to do something. It's kind of like The Last of Us too. It's a great game.
Okay, I think I'm done. He thought The Last of Us 2 was a great game. Time for me to jump off a bridge while committing Sudoku.
A few minutes later.
Seriously though, I did torture myself watching this entire review. It's disgusting seeing this man's opinion of the film. Never have I ever seen anyone justify the over-sexualization of fetuses like Mr. Girl has. It's really terrible, from basically admitting to getting a boner from that to going as far as saying that it's how things are now and that little girls are horny. Listen, little girls are just that. Little girls. They should focus on ponies and Barbie, not dancing on the pole and showing themselves online. If we were talking about 18-year-olds, they're old enough to make those decisions since they're also old enough to expose themselves in such a manner, meaning that's okay. Obviously, in a legal standpoint, it's whatever. But we're talking about 11-year-old girls. Girls who still have a sense of innocence. Girls that just want to focus on ponies and their imaginations. Yes, they also go through puberty like every kid does around that time, but they learn about these changes in life from trusted people like family and teachers, not pedo bait like this and pedo trash like Mr. Girl. Never in my entire life have I seen an SJW fill out so many checks on the whacked out list. Besides being an SJW, which is already a problem in itself, he's also a pedophile, an incel, mentally insane, and most recently I discovered that he's also a fucking cock!
I'm picturing a like 7-foot tall black guy watching this video being like, girl, you don't need to worry about any of that. And he comes in here and he just whips out his huge dick and he knocks me out with it and it like hits me so it goes into my mouth a little bit.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer. This is so much cancer that I can feel the tumors growing on my back. And it's way down heavy on me, and it's not okay. Can you help a nigga out and just stop this? Please?
Anyways, thanks for watching the video. It means a lot for a no-way like me. I also want to thank my friend Christian for telling me about this dude. His info was really eye-opening in a terrible way. But this is what I deal with if I want to spread awareness for something like this, and of course try my best to shit on it whenever possible. Check out his Twitter and his Instagram meme page, Legend of the Short Neck, in the description below. You'll notice that there's some of the memes in this video on his page, and I gave him full permission to use them on his page. Dude's close to 1K followers, so go help a dude out and bring it up to 1K and beyond. Also, don't go to Mr. Girl's channel. This dude is thriving off the mass attention he's been getting, and we shouldn't contribute to that. It baffles me how this man has 2.7K subs. Instead of subbing to a pedophile like Mr. Girls, go sub to channels like that are actually worth it. Hell, if you want to sub here, then go nuts. That would greatly be appreciated. Next video or two are going to be a change of pace before talking about something else just dumb as the cuties thing. Put that all the way on this long outro. I'll see you all next time. Take care.